Allô, 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 allô,
Attends,
allô, allô,
ils vont.
allô.
Ok.
Yeah.
Ok, so hello David. Je pense que c'est bon.
We're good? Okay, we're good.
Great. Hello David.
Hello, Ermin.
We're here for the AMA of the PoS, so
Yeah.
you can ask us anything you want. Just scan the QR code and we will answer the questions.
Yeah.
So maybe we can start by presenting ourselves.
Yeah, indeed. And I want to add that you may have questions not only on Odoo 17, but the PoS 17, but the old PoS. Go ahead. And
okay,
first.
so I'm Amin. I'm a retail expert at Odoo. I'm a I'm a functional consultant, and David is our PO.
Yeah, I'm the product owner of the point of sales. You might have seen a few presentations already. And we are working both together already for a long time. So yes, we're ready for any questions.
I don't see any questions in the pad yet,
Yeah.
so please just put all the questions here so we can answer them.
Mm-hmm. So maybe I can recall the main topics, the main feature of this new version is obviously for the PoS it was this this whole experience, digital experience of the restaurant, so from table to kitchen. So that's the big one that will continue to compose, to complete for retail as well. Another one for retail was the tag, the electronic shelf tag. So we are completing this integration that will be ready quite soon, and we found that this is actually quite interesting, and we've seen after the presentation that a lot of people was really excited about this one, and that's I would say already the main feature. And I see that a few questions enter the pad.
Exactly, so we see here a few questions. So one of them is, how can I sort products listed in PoS alphabetically?
The product in the PoS are already, so the sorting in the PoS is indeed you cannot really change it, but by default it's alphabetical, but then it will actually sort as you go. The point is, if you have certain products that you are selling more than other, then you might want those ones to come on top of the list. That's the thing. So we are first taking all the, let's say, the popular product, all the favorites. So when you are in your inventory, you can actually set favorite product with the little star. So those ones will come up first, and then the rest will come in any way. The rest will come alphabetically.
Okay, great. Thank you, David, a lot. So we have here a question about integrations. Which integrations are on the way? It's not very clear which integrations we are speaking about,
Okay.
but maybe you can discuss a few that you have in mind.
Okay. So because integration, it can mean integration with other apps of Odoo. I would say like event. I'm already dropping the stuff. We've been a bit working on this one. It can be integration with here I was talking about Pricer. So that's the brand of this electronic shelf tag that we choose for this integration. But about integration, it can be also integration with payment provider, and for this there were two. Yes. So one is Viva Wallet that I presented. We are completing also this integration. It's on the way. The advantage of this one was the tap to pay. So those are the first one that are presenting the tap to pay. It means that you only need to install the application of the payment provider on your phone, and so you turn your phone into a payment terminal. So you don't have to buy a new one. So the customer will come and tap his card on top of your phone. So that's for Viva Wallet. Another one that we are integrating, that we will integrate, is more for Latin Americas, is Mercado Pago, because we had already a few options, but they are not really useful for this region. So we are going to do that integration as well. And I think I went over all integration that I can think of.
Okay, great. So we have another question here about how can I choose different tax levels based on location where PoS is used. Well, here I will answer it myself. If you mean different countries, in this, if that is the case, you will be able to set different taxes depending on the company you are. So that's how you can have different tax levels on the products with the different PoSes. Then we have another question about people that actually sell that have returnable bottles as well. How to link the deposit to the drinks, knowing that the two products have two different VAT rates.
I didn't get the question, sorry.
So basically it's about returnable bottles. So in that case, what I think I would do is that I would create two different products. This way you can link the right VAT to the bottle itself. You can also add it as an optional product. So this way the product can will appear as a pop-up in the PoS, and you'll be able to add it to the cart, and when the client comes back with a returnable bottle, you can just select the product and do a return in the PoS as well. So next question we have, is there any sector or type of store for which the PoS Odoo would not be ideal? What do you think?
I think that there might be an answer for that, because at Odoo we tend to look really generally. We don't look at one industry in particular, we tend to really look general. Well, now we are, you've seen the keynote of Fabien this morning, so we tend to start thinking about industry.
I think it really depends on the needs. So
really
if you have a particular question, come and ask us about it at the booth, and we can discuss it further.
Yeah.
So we have a next question here. What is a feature that is planned for future versions? So somebody want to be spoiled?
But well, I actually shared a few during a talk, so I can repeat this. Was so as I said, with this ordering experience that we made, we focus on restaurant, but we made it available to retail. So actually, you can use the self-ordering that we did, the kiosk that we did for restaurant. You can use it as is in retail. It's just that it's not really well tailored for retail, because you don't expect people to come to a kiosk, select the different product they want, pay, and then leave with the product. You might want people to actually get the product in a cart and then go to a kiosk and then scan. So those are the things that we'll do. We'll continue. It's just that for this year we're not able to do everything, but that's we'll keep doing. And also we will improve the restaurant, adding like the split bill. So giving the ability to customer to actually scan the QR code, and when they pay, to split the bill with other customer. So that will follow. Another one is that I shared was the PWA, so Power Web App. So if you followed, Odoo is moving away from being an app in the App Store for Android and Apple, and they actually want to use this approach with this Power Web Apps. That's actually something we can do with the web browser. You just add like a kind of, in the past we were using bookmarks. You just add the bookmarks to your home screen. Actually, web browser gives this ability to open the bookmark in full screen like it was an application. And Odoo will be like this. But still with this, for the PoS, you will still be able to enter the backend, then go to point of sales, then open the checkout desk. But actually, you do it on a tablet. Maybe that's the tablet of a specific checkout desk. It will be always the same checkout desk. You don't need actually to do all this path. And that's something we will do. We would like to do this year, is that this icon that you will add, this bookmark you will add to your home screen, you will open directly the session of the checkout desk.
Great,
so
thank you.
That's already two main things.
Okay, So we have here a question about a feature for product modifiers in the menu to remove or add ingredients while taking orders. That's actually possible already, so maybe you can explain the extra options feature?
Yeah, the product combos, indeed. And so it was coming with the product combos and in the same time improving the attributes that we had already. So attributes is what you use if you are using Odoo to create variants, product variants. And the possibilities are then millions. The idea is for product combos, you can select, you can suggest a bunch of different choices. So that's what we presented already, and Fabien actually showed it also in his keynote. He was selecting like a burger, then I select which burger, then which drinks, and then I add it. But the idea is that for the burgers, I might want to have variants, like a small, one meat, two meat, and for two meat I want to have an extra price. So I can add that, and then here, as you said, the toppings. So if you want to add specific things which are not product, so really doing modifiers, you have also the attribute that you won't create variants, but you can also configure, and that's new this year, to have a multi-selection.
Okay, great. So moving to the next question. Is it possible to use hardware such as printers and digital scales into the PoS without using the IoT box? Or can I install IoT box operating system outside the Raspberry Pi, such installing to some Linux operating system or Windows?
Yeah. So you will need you will need at some point the IoT box, because the scale is communicating in a way that is not trivial for a system. But indeed, you can use the virtual IoT. So virtual IoT is something that we made this year. It's actually a software version of the IoT that we had previously, that you can install on Windows to actually communicate with all the devices that you connect to your computer. And just thinking about that, for the people that are watching and doesn't know what's the IoT is a middleware that it's essential for the point of sale for Odoo to actually be able to communicate with device, because Odoo is running as a web app like Facebook. And obviously, the web browser will never allow a web app to communicate with the rest of your network or your house. Otherwise, Facebook will know everything you have in your house. So that's why we have this IoT, to make the intermediate and be able to discuss with this device.
Okay, great. I have a next question here about someone having one PoS and 3 different cashiers working in the same PoS. How can you control the cache for each cashier? So maybe I can answer that one myself. If they're working in the same PoS, you will be doing one closing control. So it doesn't depend on the cashier, but rather on what is in your cash drawer and what you received on your bank terminal. What you can actually do is, per employee, add some rights or remove some rights. Some of them will be able to do the cache closing and some cash in and cash out. Others with limited rights won't be able to do that. I don't know if you want to add something.
I think it's pretty good.
Okay.
Pretty clear.
So then we have a next question. Is it possible to limit the customer list for a customer that has a given tag? If you mean loading the customers in the PoS, according to me, it is not possible today. So
it was, because I understood
I'm not
differently.
really sure about the question. So if you can maybe specify.
I understand it two ways. So indeed, there is this approach. Can we load? For the moment, the PoS is loading 100 customer in the PoS. Can we change that? Technically, yes. Actually, if you have the rights, you can change it. But we don't want to motivate this approach, because what's the point of loading 100,000 information in your PoS if you only use 10%? So we made it easier from the search. Whether it's a product or a customer, if you search for it, you have a load more button, or you just press enter and you look in the database and load the customer. So that's if I understand this question this way. Now I understand it also as if the customer owes me money. is there a credit limit? So I understand it like this. Can I kind of block the customer for being used? No, because it's not the point of Odoo to block, but just to warn you. So you will get the information from the PoS. You can set a credit limit. It's not activated by default, but you can set it. It's used in sales. It's used in accounting. And when you select the customer, you will see it in orange. So you get the information that is actually crediting too much, and then it's your choice to continue or to act differently.
Okay, David, thank you very much. So we have here a question about can we change recipes from PoS in a BOM? Unfortunately, that's not possible today, but it would be a great addition to have in the next versions, especially for our bars and restaurants. Then I have another question about are combo products creating new BOMs? So no, it is not. Combo products are configured as products. It's not linked to the BOMs if you don't link them, but it's static. It's not creating anything new.
So yes, so then you don't need to install also MRP to use the combo. It's there by default. Yeah.
Then we have a question about are there plans to make the IoT license free?
For this one, that's a strategic question. I think that's a question for Fabien. For me, but for now, the landscape is that you still have the physical IoT still has same price, and the virtual IoT, which is free in most of the case. If you are really using it directly with your laptop, like you have a printer, you link it to your laptop, so a Windows then, where you install the virtual IoT, you can use and you won't pay for that. If you have a second one, then if you want to use a separated printer, then the same, you install the virtual IoT, still free. But at the moment you want to share, it actually needs to communicate with the DB. There is the whole thing, and there is also support behind. So that's why the subscription will be activated. But now to discuss whether it should be like this or not is not for us to answer.
Okay, great. So here we have a question about is the PoS working offline? So indeed, we do have an offline mode. So basically, when you open the PoS, we are going to load all the models necessary to be able to do a sale. So taxes, price lists. We also load master data, so products and contacts. Those are loaded into the browsers, into the browser. So when you would lose the connection, you would be able to do a simple sale. So some features are not available in the offline mode, like taking a quotation from the backend and pushing it into the PoS. Creating an invoice will need to happen when the connection is restored as well, for instance. I'm thinking, are there any other feature I'm missing? But the idea here is to actually prevent you from losing the most important information, which is the sales information of the client.
Yeah, and trying to complete that's the thing. Trying to be back up for you and try to support in completing the sales. And yes, sometimes it can be also a certain terminal that needs to communicate with their server. So if actually you have an internet outage, but you still have the connection in your network, some might work, some might not. For the self-ordering, if you have that in mind as well, since it's in the same network, it will work as well. But the QR code where your customer will be on 4G won't work because you don't have internet connection at the moment.
Okay, great.
So yeah.
Then we have a question about the black box, and when is it going to be certified in 17?
In 17, it's in the course of we are about to finish with this one, but our recommendation today is actually to consider that it's done, because by the time you prepare for migration and you prepare for actually going live, it will be done by that time.
Okay, great. Then we have a question, is it possible for admin and normal users to view different details in closing control? Example, cashier can close session without seeing or adjust cash difference, only the manager can do that. Today it's not possible to adapt this view depending on the rights. It would be a nice addition, but today it is not possible. Then we have a question, how do I add brands to products? For example, I'll sell polos from Ralph Lauren, so I want to add the brand. Now we don't have a specific field for the brand, if I'm correct. Maybe we can find some options to add a tag maybe to be able to display the brand, but it will not show in the post.
Yeah, maybe because I'm trying to think why you need that. If it's to filter easily, if you want to see in the categories eventually, from this year it's possible to add many post categories to a product. That's a solution.
Okay. So here I have a question about down payments. If I create a down payment in the post and I invoice it, can I invoice it to my down payment journal and not in the post specific journal? I also want to track the payment method. So indeed what you can do here in that case, so if you invoice an order, it's going to be booked in the journal of the invoices, which is different from the one that we specified for post sales, so orders that will not be invoiced. So indeed here you can play a bit and add different journals, and this way you can book it in the right one. Now to track the payment method, actually on each order you can track the payment method with which the order was paid. So I guess the answer would be yes. Okay, so are you planning on adding a logout or timeout feature in post if no activity was there for a certain period of time?
That can be done through that we have a mechanism in the restaurant that if you leave a table open, it will come back to the floor plan. Indeed, locking, it's
okay.
Could be
great. So maybe in the future we'll see that coming.
And we have already, I think. Integration with a badge that you can actually log in. That's the thing generally. If you remove the tag from the receptor, then it logs the session. So that's why so far it's not it hasn't been implemented.
Okay, great. Then I have a question about the customer display. So can the size of panels be resized so that we can show some advertising on a bigger part of the screen?
So just to make sure, because I heard sometime, I know you're talking about branding. So yes, so we are talking about the screen that is shown to customer with the detail of the card that the cashier is scanning. I'm precising because there is a misunderstanding with the new order status screen for the self-order, and people are also calling that the customer display. But here we changed it in this year. I think it has been already available for a few months. Now it has been completely redesigned, so you can directly from the settings you can put some content in this screen.
Okay.
So it changed.
I'm sorry, I have a question that's actually addressed to you. So David, what are your top 3 favorite features that have not made it yet?
Oh, that's an interesting question, because that's not the one I get so far. That we didn't made yet. What that came is definitely, I want to improve more the UX of the PoS. You know, it's easy to use, but I think we can still make something really nicer for each step to really go quicker until the end of the sales. And so this we didn't made it because it requires to sit analyze with designers, UX designers. And so that would be one. It's actually a difficult question. I'm sure I would have many to tell. It's just that it's not coming to my mind like this. Maybe the split I said for the self-service, the self-ordering. I wanted to have it for 17. It's the split bill, so not having to rely on the waiter to actually split the bill, but giving the opportunity to a customer to actually do it from the same QR code. So it will come, that's for sure.
Great, so I have still a few questions here. Product variants, can I have scannable variants but only show the main product and not all the variants into the PoS?
That's another one. Yeah, cool. That would be the second one. Let's say that this answer complete the previous answer.
Perfect.
Indeed, it's something we have in the pad for a long time, at least a year. It's just that we cannot work on everything. But indeed, for the moment in the PoS, if you have actual variants, well, I mean, actually in your inventory, like I have a T-shirt with 5 color. Then it's actual 5 products in your stock. That is displayed as is in the PoS for the moment. So if you look at the catalog, you will see all the different variants. So you might don't like the repetition of product. And something we will do is giving the possibility to actually work with the main product, as you said here in the question, so that you select the T-shirt and then you are asked to select the different variation for this one. Today, you have the ability to have this pop-up selecting the different variation, but only if it's not actually a variant in your stock. Yeah, the example that came to my mind rapidly, because there is only 2 minutes left, it's cooking temperature for meat. You don't stock the cooking temperature, but then you can select this. It's a variant of your product, but yeah.
Great. So maybe we can end up with the last question. So can we invoice? Can an invoice be generated after the sale is completed? So indeed, that's something we introduced in V7.16.
16, yeah. But I need to still. So yes. Until also you close your accounting, because the idea is to make some movement in accounting to actually represent, to take out the sales that was actually logged as a sales and to log it as an invoice and have the invoice. So obviously you can do it as long as the accounting period is not closed. Definitely from the PoS you have the button, you can generate an invoice. I think that accounting is working on a mechanism, because they are the one obviously behind this mechanism, to allow invoicing later for things that was in a previous accounting period.
We also have a really nice feature where when you don't invoice the customer, you can actually add a QR code on the ticket. The customer can actually scan it by himself and create the invoice from home. So that's quite nice to use as well.
Yeah. It's cool because then the cashier doesn't have to spend time on doing it himself. Yeah.
Great. So I think that will be it. We have maybe one last question. When will we have multi-currency in the PoS?
Yeah, that's a good one. I was still discussing this one a bit earlier. It's just that this is not easy. It's not an easy task, and it requires to rework the PoS a lot. So it's difficult because that would be a big refactoring. I don't think it will be in the next version. That would be cool, but since it's a big refactoring, I don't want to build castle in Spain. I'm someone like this. I don't want to say yes, like if I'm not sure, but partially sure, I will tell you yes. No, it's more like if I can't tell you yes, I will tell you no. And for so far, I will say actually for the next version, I will say no. Not sure that it will be in.
Okay, pretty clear. Thanks a lot. I think that's it for the Q&A. If you still have questions, come at the booth.